Of the Ad Astra Sports Network, the statewide leader in local sports coverage. Coming up, Aaron West and Chris Shank bring you coverage of Buhler Crusader football on 95.9 HKFM. Crusader football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra radio app. Tonight's kickoff is just 30 minutes away. The Buhler Crusaders play on 95.9 HKFM.
Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine in Hutchinson, Kansas. We take pride in supporting our community and our student athletes. Hi, I'm the General Manager, Don Glassby. We want to wish our area teams a fun and memorable season. A great person once said, victory is in the quality of competition and not the final score. Visit online AllenSamuelsHutch.com and follow us on Facebook for weekly giveaways and special events. And as Mr. Samuels always says,
come by, let's be friends.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, a pleasant good evening, everybody, on this quarterfinal Friday night in the 4A West playoffs. Set for Crusader football action from Wamego tonight. The Wamego Red Raiders and the Buhler Crusaders, the second meeting this season. It happens tonight here on the road in Wamego. And the winner moving on to the semifinals coming up next Friday with just 8 teams left in 4A football here in 2024. Hi and welcome inside the Midway Motors drive to the game. Aaron West alongside Chris Shank. Matt Atherton down on the field tonight. And mentioned second meeting between these two teams. Week 5 seems like an awful long time ago, Christopher. Fair to say that I'm sure Wamego has too, but I feel like our team has grown since then as well. Certainly the running game, I think, is in a better place now than it was then. And, boy, we proved that last Friday as over 500 yards rushing in the win against Mulvane.
Yeah, when you really sit there and think about the last meeting between these two, it was a unique game in that the very first play of the game, Ben Klaus got injured with a season-ending injury against these guys. And you think about some of those other guys, they've been playing behind Ben Klaus. I doubt Matt or Aaron, any of those guys woke up that morning thinking, Ben's going to play one down tonight, and then I'm going to be thrown into the fire. The team has gelled, and all of the running backs that have toted the rock in Ben's absence.
Second round of the playoffs at Buhler in 53 plays, racked up 600 yards of offense, averaged 11 yards a play. Career high 200 touchdowns. That offensive line was fantastic last Friday.
Yeah, over and over and over again. All is inside did such a good job, blocking that inside trap. You just don't expect to get that kind of production out of your fullback, but Nick was so good.
Coach Chris really talking about that offensive line, feels like even with the injury, the guys that have come and filled in at that line is as good as it's been all year, and certainly now is the time to be at your best.
Yeah, because with the run game, a huge part of that is how and Will Haanen, who's been just a huge cog on the defensive side, stepping in and playing both ways and filling in for Logan. Just that consistency. You don't have nights where you rush for over 500 yards without the O-line really clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, absolutely. They were so good and disciplined. And I think the first matchup with Wamego and the story of the game was the delay of game and the 2 false starts that just messed it all up, right? And so they stayed within.
Defensively, Matthew, I felt like Mulvane had some tricks in their bag, as they always do, that kind of got our defense back on the heels a little bit early. But man, did in that second half with some adjustments and really take care of business.
Yeah, so much this year. Buhler's just been so tough to run on. I think Buhler wasn't really sure what to expect with Fisher Dyes, and so took Coach Coles a little bit of time to figure it out. But of course, once they did, that defense returned to that lights-out type of defensive intensity that we're so used to seeing.
151 yards rushing for Mulvane, by far the most that this Buhler team has given up this year. But 8-2, Buhler team has given up this year. But 8-2 on to play Wamego. So here we are about strategies and got to do this, got to do that. It really comes down who executes. It's those little things, those intangibles we talk about, execution, discipline.
Don't get the November without being pretty fundamentally strong. And that's one of those things that turnovers and penalties, the November without being pretty fundamentally strong. And that's penalties. So the team that commits the fewest of those is probably going to be the one that walks out of here and heads to either Wellington or Andover next week.
They should put that on a T-shirt. He who makes the least mistakes. Season brought to you in part by Daylight Donuts, by Johnson Sheet Metal, Newfeld's Flooring, by Inman Funeral Home, and by Annette Essen. We'll have more of our.
Next, we'll relive this day in Crusader history. The Buhler Crusaders play on 95.9 FM.
Polly here.
Ready to make a move? Plaza Astle Realty is here to help whether buying or selling your home. With 24 professional agents, you'll be in. Contact Plaza Ask today, locally owned and brokered for over 40 years. We specialize in sold.
When quality of care matters, let the compassionate and professional staff at Hospice and Home Care of Reno County in-home health care services. Wherever you consider home, Hospice and Home Care of Reno County, your local not-for-profit agency serving a 50-mile radius of how you live.
As the hot Kansas summer winds down, the end of one season and the start of the next is a great time to review the health of your pets at Apple Lane Animal Hospital. Have you missed any of your vaccination, annual blood work, and taking a look at your pet's diet and nutritional needs? Make 2025 the year you take care of your pets so they live a long and healthy life. Call the staff at Apple Lane at 662-0515.
The Bradbury Company, headquartered in Mound Ridge, is a family-owned custom equipment builder, now hiring qualified candidates for many roles. Apply online at bradburygroup.com/careers. The Bradbury Company, we build machines, we sell solutions.
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
Cruising in a game over Hayden. They went on Wamego tonight for a second time in school history. Wamego tonight for a second time in school history. 61st different program that Crusaders have gone up against all time. Way through the fourth quarter, it was 16-15. They had a first and goal inside the 10-yard line with 40 on the clock. False start penalties. Boy, for whatever reason, that just kind of spelled how the rest of the night would go. The final 7 minutes of that fourth quarter, Wamego scored twice in the game.
Yeah, that play was huge. The two successive penalties after that were huge. And then on one of those scoring plays or scoring drives that Wamego had, that critical penalty, I still think of the fourth down conversion when they had the shotgun snap to the quarterback who was dead to rights, who the kid caught it. I know he got the first down. I couldn't remember if he scored or not.
He actually scored a touchdown on that play.
It was just such a huge swing of momentum, and that's one of the fun things about the game of football. It is a momentum game, and you can then have those penalties that got Wamego the ball back. I just felt really comfortable, like Buhler was in charge and had control. We were running the ball inside at will. Surgeon had control. We were running the ball inside at will. So it's a thing.
Wamego farther each time. They finished state runner-up in 2022. Head coach Weston Moody, now in his 7th year, a winning record as he's been at the helm of the program. Our Erickson Custom Building game plan tonight for new construction and remodeling. Find them online at Erickson Custom BLD as he's been at the helm of the program. Our Erickson Custom Building game plan tonight for new construction and remodeling. Find them online at ericksoncustombldg.com. Too similar that they really want to establish the run. Interesting that we held Wamego to 1 yard rushing, a single yard in that first game of the season. But you go as it often, game won and lost potentially at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Buhler, obviously the MO of the Black Knights is to take away the run game and force you to beat them. Obviously the MO of the Black Knights is to take away the run game and force you to beat them through the air and see if we can.
20-13. Second round, he throws well. He likes to throw downfield. but he's also, as we saw in that first game, elusive. He's a good scrambler. 20-13 down under those pressures to a tight end or a tailback, like that fourth quarter play that you alluded to on fourth down.
Yeah, and a huge thing when you have the D-line pressure that Buhler brings, teams will try to slow that down through the screen game and those little underneath routes. And, like you mentioned, he's a bigger quarterback, and he's a kid that if you try to tackle too high, he's got those tackles.
Definitely interesting to see how that goes tonight. So Buhler being disciplined, obviously, with its linebackers. And, because a good offense, you teach your wide receivers, never give up on the play until the play is over. And so as a counter to that, our guys have to be disciplined.
No doubt. And Buhler, typically we roll the dice and go pretty much straight man in secondary coverage. And so the matchups of our corners and safeties, one-on-one with those receivers from Wamego, those are really, typically if we aren't as big, we have to match with physicality. And so hopefully our secondary brings their physical game this evening.
I mentioned earlier that I thought I feel like our running game is less than it was week 5 last year, if for no other reason than we lost our tailback on the first play of the game. But Mitchell McDaniel has come in and done a fantastic job.
Mulvane, a team that's had put together a really good season. I mean, that wasn't against chairs that Buhler rolled up over 500 yards of offense on the ground. So, and the other thing too, with Max Harmony and Dylan Skripsic and some of the other with the Rock tonight, they have all picked up enough carries to where if any of them are called on to be in that tailback or fullback spots, they're going to be comfortable and really feel like they belong in that situation.
I've been told don't be surprised if they run a play or two for Landon Martinez tonight, too. He had a 65-yard score last week. He's been in time
and impressive career in junior high track. A hurdler. Typically, hurdlers are always good on the gridiron, and it's going to be really fun. He's going to be a great tailback in the long pantheon of Buhler High.
Well, a lot on the line tonight. Buhler trying to get back to the semifinals for the first time since 2021. And hopefully they can channel some of that energy from that 20. Mentioned they went all the way to championship game in 2022. Coverage of Crusader football brought to you in part by Bank of the Plains, by Lyman Dental, I Need a Cleaners, by the Rediger Agency, and by Holly Sweet Tree. Thoughts from head coach Steve Warner when we come back here on HKFM.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Stay tuned. Aaron West sits down for a pregame chat with head coach Steve Warner. Buhler Crusader football on 95.9 HK.
Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine in Hutchinson. We take pride in supporting our community and being committed to our customers. Don Glaspie here to let you know your vehicle is very important to us. Our top-notch service team is ready anytime your vehicle needs attention. Visit us online at AllenSamuelsHutch.com. Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep.
Continue to take the time to build the relationships and trust with their customers as they've done for over 59 years. At Stein, they truly get to know customers' needs and wants and will provide continual attention to detail and communication throughout the project from start to finish. Staying Plumbing and Design. For us, it's not just a remodel, it's a
Coach Steve Warner joins us. That's a big goal for your team at the start of every year, is to be playing at the end of November. And man, so close, but starting tonight, but really good opponents left the rest of the way. You've got to come out and be ready and bring your A game.
I agree 100%. And I can revert back to last week. Mulvane was and passes that we would like to have back. Still haven't allowed anybody to rush for 100 yards individually against us. And a lot of pride in our program and a lot of pride in this team. And the kids are excited. And we can call it a revenge game if we want, but they've thought about this game a lot, and we're ready to go.
Interesting in that you say a revenge game, but obviously that sequence on offense, I think you go up 2 touchdowns. Interesting in that you say a revenge game, but obviously that sequence on offense, I think you go up 2 touchdowns. If it wasn't for those 3 successive that you had there in the third quarter, you're probably up 2 scores.
The penalty
quarter, you're probably up 2 scores.
The penalties were awful, and something we were were awful, and something we've talked about a lot since then. And we've talked about a lot since then. And I agree with you. I think we win the football backs.
And gets hurt on the first play. Dylan did come in and did the absolute best he could, but tough situation for a young guy just to be thrown right in. Dylan did come in and did the absolute best he could, but tough situation for a young guy just to be thrown right in there when he's not expecting to have to be the starting running back. Great job, but I feel just the way your offensive line is playing and your guys are running well, that running the ball better now maybe than you have all year.
I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. But and Dylan, hats off to him. And you said he did come in, didn't have any idea he was going to be playing tailback, came in, ran hard. Mitchell's a senior, a little stronger. It's off to him. And you said he did come in, didn't have any idea he was going to be playing tailback, came in, ran hard. Time of career last year, it's nice having backs that if something happens to one, now we've got several tailbacks even still. So we're excited because Mitchell has come on. He had 220 some yards rushing.
Their quarterback was tough to get to the ground last time. Gets the ball out well. Doesn't seem to get rattled, and so you're really going to have to get after him.
We have to get after him and make him run and try to get to him, and then when we tackle him, tackle the ball too. Tackle when we got to. Some are going to tackle low because that's the way they tackle, but they've also got to tackle. But those are all the things that are very important, and the loss and the penalties. The way our offense is designed to keep line and just pound the ball and just keep moving the chains and keep the ball on in our hands, and that's the key to success.
We'll take the long runs too, but man, does that play on when 3-4 yards every play.
I will take every long play we can get, but they're very fast, and their D-backs are tackle well, and they play their safeties but they're very fast, and their D-backs are tackle well, and they play their safeties play back far enough, and then they come up well. We can get a long run, sure, but other than that, let's just milk the clock and get 4 yards every play.
All right, nice long road trip in the playoffs. I know you enjoy those. So
I really do. A little bit of college atmosphere. We had our walk. A little bit of college atmosphere. We had our walk through just outside of Wamego, and the kids got to stretch their legs, and then we take our time. We're not in any hurry. The school let us out plenty early, and I just love it. I love that atmosphere and the kids together as a team and as a family, and savor every moment but we want more of them.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate luck on the field, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
That's head coach Steve Warner with us here, and we're back with more right after this.
Coming up, the Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after HKFM.
This message brought to you by your friends at Red Rock Auto Center in South Hutchinson. Our community reflects who we are, becoming a mentor, or even running for public office. Make today the day you have a bigger impact on the community around you. For all your service needs, you can find Red Rock Auto Center at 200 North Main Street.
Restaurant or a vet clinic. Patent Insurance specializes in insurance for you. Stop by and see us today at 6th and Main, or check out WadePatentInsurance.com.
The other bracket has number 3 seed Wellington at number 2 seed Andover Central. If Buhler wins it tonight at noon, full night of basketball as well on our Ad Astra Sports Network tonight. Central Christian and Victoria already underway. And you can find our complete schedule and streaming audio on the free ends with a stop at Dix Phillips. 4th and Stevens in Hutchinson. Really that matchup, Christopher, between our defensive line and their quarterback really intrigues me. Struggled to get him down even when we pressured him last time. Sure, it'd be helpful if we're able to be a little more successful at that tonight.
Yeah, last we can get to full, try to roll up 500 yards tonight. But, if McDaniel can come anywhere near that 200-yard mark, that would be a great recipe for success.
And certainly we need Scrippy to not necessarily going to ask him to win the game, but just to be field general and not make mistakes.
Yep, take care of the ball, not turn it over. And, he's shown some really good touch on some of those longer routes. And
HKFM.
Game. Midway and Game. Midway and H.
You can rely on the K&M, so head on down to Agri-Center, just named 2023 National Dealer of the Year in Hutchinson and Salina.
Crusader football on 8.
Where to take your clothes.
But tonight, there's the big box. Last time we played him, he was next Friday.
Well, Buhler had 28 yards of offense, averaged over 4 yards of play in that loss last time. Ben Klaus injured on the first play, but Buhler had 2 critical turnovers and 6 critical on 4th down. Boy, that situation where you can get your defense off the field. you've really got to step up and make a play.
Yeah, fourth down conversions, extend drives that typically end in scores. So, yeah, if Buhler can really
the broadcast tonight from Wamego and video on the Radio YouTube page.
Well, you heard some of the theatrics. I think they had one of the most elaborate pregame shows I've seen at the high school ranks. Knocking the fireworks off, so let's see if the knocking the fireworks off, so let's see if the Black Knights can have some fireworks of their own here on the first possession.
Jared Miller's going to squib it from the 40. It's going to be picked up on a bounce at the 20 line and a big return along the Wamego sideline. And some early momentum on that return by Jackson Toops for the Red Raiders. And they're going to start up around midfielder 4-3 defense. Up front, Jax Pratt, Chase Gentry, Cash Carson, Cruz Hirschberger. 14 tackle game last week. Jacob Miller, Nick Gazaway, Will Hain in the line. Gotti, Jeremy Gentry back after being sick at the safeties. We'll see corners including Jared Miller and Mitchell.
Had some lead blockers out front. Great run on first down there by Skripczyk to give us best down and distance we've had this evening.
Second down and 3 clock runs. 8:20 to go here in the first. Trips right. They're going to put Skripczyk out of the gun here. And now timeout called by the Red Raiders. Wamego calls timeout. 0-0. Buhler on its second series, facing a 2nd and 3 when we come back from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. November is a good time to remember all the things we're thankful for, and we want to take this time to say we're thankful for you and your support. Show the people fresh, made from scratch daylight donuts from your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. We're open every morning at 5 a.m. You can order online anytime at HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. 305 North Main, 1835 East 30th in Hutchinson.
95.9 HKFM.
Back here from Wamego, the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Allen Samuels, Chrysler, Mulvane. 0-0 here, 8:11 to go in the first. Peter right to left here. 2 tight ends, single receiver to the far side. They changed the play. It'll be the fullback handoff. And again there, forward to the 40. It'll be a First National Bank first down for the Crusaders.
It's a thing of beauty. Anytime you see a running back just putting the shoulders down and putting the hand on the lead block, that's exactly what Gazaway did there. Buhler picks up the first down.
Here's Jax Pratt in the option. Does not pitch to McDaniel. Keeps it, runs up the seam as a flag is out. Got 4 yards, make it yards to the 37. We'll see what the call is. Might be on the Crusaders.
Yeah, Skripczyk did the right thing that time. They're kind of calling the legal blindside block on Buhler. But Skripczyk read that perfect adage in the option, never pitch off air, make a defender commit. Everybody was keying off McDaniel that time, so Skripczyk was able to tuck and run, but unfortunately the legal blindside block is going to by Skripczyk and get Buhler off down and distance schedule.
Second drive, second big penalty they've had that have gotten behind. And boy, when you're a power running team.
At the other side at the 40.
Brendan DeSano up in.
Right on the numbers to.
He's looking back as he's still running forward and made a brilliant catch. Up at the 29, made a brilliant catch. Up at the 29, a First National Bank first down. They'll put her in motion. Brendan under back set. And here is Martinez in the jet sweep. Breaks out of a tackle to the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders! Crusaders!
Well, you mentioned it in the pregame, Aaron, that they're going to Tractional Championship, #1 team in the West.
Comes across in the jet sweep from right to
some escapability and just the make big plays. And he hits pay dirt. What a big run there by Martinez.
6:53 to go in the first. It's a 4-play drive up first and 25. They overcame that on the pass to Pisano. And then the run for Martinez of 29. The extra point is good. And quarter. It's Buhler 7, Wamego 0 from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
The name.
543-2274. Go Crusaders.
The name.
543-2274. Go Crusaders.
Scooter's Classic Hot Chocolate took a stroll through the Candyland Pet Forest and is available in today. Scooter's Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scooter's Coffee in Hutchinson, McPherson, and Salina.
Available in today. Scooter's Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast.
Scooter's Coffee in Hutchinson, McPherson, and Salina.
Hutch Rec is your community recreation provider. We're passionate adult sports, wellness classes, and several of our community events and races. We're also your community spirit provider, offering endless recreational opportunities at Dilla Nature Center, Senior Center at Elmdale Park, the Sports Arena.
95.0 HKFM.
6:52 to go here in the first. The kickoff by Jared.
5.0 HKFM.
And it'll end up out of bounds at about the third time on offense.
Yeah, you heard the big sigh from the crowd as Drew Erickson, the junior return man from Wamego, bobbled the kick. He was loose on the deck for quite a while, but was able to fall in it or went out of bounds before Buhler was able to get downfield.
How about this for Martinez? 15 carries on the year, 172 yards.
For a freshman.
Wamego 1st and 10 from their own 23. They haven't run the ball much tonight. They'll 44 to go in the quarter, and they'll get up to their own 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 and set up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, they went with a wildcat look that time. Tate Warren is a very explosive runner, snapping it out of the shotgun and letting him run straight ahead to try to gin up some offense. He had the big run on 1st down, their last possession.
Warren is a lineup 7 for 2 more. 2 direct snaps to the tailback, and now 3rd down. 2 direct snaps to the tailback, and now 3rd down and 6.
And they're running Tate Warren out of the way. He's a lot more explosive runner than Logan Fulton. Fulton's more out there to be the gunslinger throwing the football around. So now a decision here for Weston Moody as he's got quite if they keep it on the ground or put one upstairs here.
Fulton back in there out of the gun. They'll put a receiver in motion. Sweep, they throw up over the 7-yard line.
That time Cash Carson was able to get through the line virtually untouched and was bearing down on Logan Fulton, but Fulton was able to release a dart down.
7-yard line.
That time Cash Carson was able to get through the line virtually untouched and was bearing down on Logan Fulton, but Fulton was able to release a dart down the field, and that pitch and catch gets Buhler territory for the first time this series.
Goes for 26 yards. 1st and 10 Red Raiders at the Buhler 47.
In the Wildcat.
Back in the Wildcat. They'll put a receiver in sweep from left to right, and a hole in the near side, drug down from behind near the 40. They'll put a receiver in sweep from left to right, and a hole in the near side, drug down from behind near the 43. And so they bring the receiver Reed in motion left to right and gets close to another Wamego 1st down. Is right at in motion left to right and gets close to another Wamego 1st down. Is right at the stick at the near side hash mark.
Yeah, Jacob Miller in on the stop for Buhler. That time he was the near side defense. And so Wamego just trying some of that misdirection, running the Wildcat, putting guys in motion across the formation. Near side defense. And so Wamego just trying some of that misdirection, running the Wildcat, putting guys in motion across the formation.
Looking at 2nd here at about half a yard.
This will be a
to the 3rd. The straight ahead carry by Logan Fulton will move the chains for the Red Raiders.
Still running that Wildcat set. I don't know if Logan Fulton is banged up or if they just decided, hey, let's try to get the ball in Tate.
Remember this from the first meeting. A lot of motion with this Wamego team. It seems like almost every play they've got somebody moving. Fulton is back out there now. It's not Fulton. They pitch it to Warren. Taking the snap that time was McCoy Moody, a sophomore backup quarterback. He hands it to Fulton.
Logan Fulton, he's just down long developing plays, but they've been able to get to the edge, and now they're
Fulton
inside.
is back in the game.
Inside the 20, as you said, in the Buhler in the backfield, trips left. Now they'll put Warren, the tailback, in motion, flag out at the snap. That might be the first penalty assessed to Wamego.
What's going to be called on Wamego?
First team down to 2:34 to go. First quarter, 7-0 Crusaders. 29-yard jet sweep by the freshman Landon Martinez for the first score of the night. 2 receivers right, 2 left, empty backfield 6 for the first score of the night. 2 receivers right, 2 left, empty backfield set. Fulton will snap, throws slot for the first score of the night. 2 receivers right, 2 left, empty backfield set. Fulton will snap, throws slot, and out in front of the receiver, incomplete. And out in front of the receiver, incomplete at the 10-yard line. Inside that time was the intended target. I believe that was Toops, and it's incomplete. It'll be second down.
And good physical play made that time by Jared Miller as he's able to pop the ball arrive. Perfect timed effort there. As he's able to pop the ball arrive. Perfect timed effort there by the DB from Buhler.
Incompletion will stop the clock with 2:15 to go in the quarter. Good.
Because we got burned their second time.
Buhler Booster Club on a scoreboard.
From down at Andover. The last score we have out of the Andover Central-Wellington game was Andover Central ahead 14-0 midway through the first quarter. Wellington's had a couple fumbles, and that has really hamstrung the Crusaders down there tonight.
28-14 last score. We had late second Victoria leading Central Christian in 8-man Division II. Second and 15 out of the Wamego timeout. Fulton out of the shotgun, empty backfield set. So they go with 5 wide receivers. Out of a fake in the jet sweep, now they'll throw it to the receiver in motion. Pressure, and Lowell can't get to it. He came right to left duress. Had to throw a little early and threw low and incomplete.
Well, the D-line's been doing a great job of getting to Fulton. That time he had guys all around him as he released it. Nice play also made in the secondary. Brady Gotti was the screen killer that time. He was right in the vicinity of the intended receiver. So now Wamego all of a sudden with a 3rd and a long situation.
3rd and 15 here from in the gun this time with trips left. Single receiver to the right. Now they'll release Fulton out of the backfield. 5 wide receivers on 3rd down. Fulton's going to incomplete. Great play near the goal line by Brady Gotti.
Brady Gotti, another big stop. He made the play on the attempted screen pass there. Great play. Had decided to tuck and run. He might have picked up the first down, but he is somebody that is so throw-first oriented that he tried to force it in there, but Gotti said no more.
Moody's a little bit of a gambler. Might go for it here.
Yes, and they are rolling the dice going, so let's see if the Black Knights can get off the field. Perfect the last go-around. It's
going to be dropped, incomplete, ball is loose. They're going to call the quarterback down. Cash Carson is up the field with a foot at the 20 before he realizes the whistle has been blown. But great pressure by that Black Knight defense. They finally get to Fulton. It'll be a turnover on down.
Well, Cruz Hirschberger was one of the guys leading the charge at rolling our way this evening.
This will be the 4th drive of the night, make it 3rd drive of the night for the Crusaders. 1 for 2, leading 7-0 I formation. 2 tight end look with Skripsik under center Tanner Brown. This is the senior McDaniel, hit at the line and falls 4 yard to the 34. Make it just shy of the 35. Gain of yard and a half for Daniel.
Yeah, that time Buhler ran a little crossbuck action that time, but it's not the front level. Buhler's doing a good job handling that D line of Wamego. It's that linebacking core. They run that 4-2-5. Those ops this evening for the Red Raiders.
Second and a long 8 here out of the I formation. This is McDaniel running left. Good block on the edge by his fullback, Gazaway. Gets it across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line. And again, a great block there on the left edge by Nick Gazaway.
Nick Gazaway set the edge, delivered a big blow, and McDaniel just did a great job of tucking right in behind that block by Gazaway. So now Buhler with a critical 3rd down. Coming into tonight, Buhler 43% on 3rd down conversions. We got a big 3rd down earlier. Let's see if we can convert here as well.
Talk about those linebackers. Senior Brady Oviatt, he is a load at linebacker. Under a minute to play in this quarter. 3rd and 2 at their own 41. They tuck it in close with 2 tight ends. Brendan will hand it off to Mitchell. Close at the line of scrimmage. He might be half a yard shy. Tried to dive over a defender. And it's going to be 4th and a yard. That is likely going to be the final play of the first quarter.
Yeah, that time Wamego lined up 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. Coach Warner's going to run this down partially if we choose to punt to have the wind at our back. but also to have a chance to talk about this, to try to see, do we want to roll the dice here with this 4th and short?
It's a dangerous spot. We'll see when we come back. First quarter comes to a close. Buhler with a 7-0 advantage. We figured it'd be a dogfight. So far it has been. 7-0. Crusaders, part of the Hutch CC Road to a Championship. Presented by Next Tech Wireless on HKFM.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. H&R Block in Hutchinson, Ellsworth, and Lyons.
Midwest Iron and Metal is now Scrap Management Industries. Same great service, new name. Get cash for your household or worksite scrap. No hidden fees, no surprises. Turn old metal into cash at Scrap Management Industries in Hutchinson at Avenue G and Main.
95.9 HKFM.
Well, a big kick with the win for Brendan Skripczyk, and it rolls dead inside the 10. It rolls out of bounds on the Buhler side at the 7-yard line. So Wamego's going to start deep in their own territory here on this next drive to begin the second quarter.
What a boot by Skripczyk. Now Wamego having to operate in the shadow of their own end zone, going into the wind. Great punt there by Brendan Skripczyk.
I think that's the right decision by Coach to punt it too.
Yes.
From their own 7, Logan Fulton, the quarterback.
Nope.
Is not in there. Yeah, in the Wildcat. So it is the tailback straight ahead, breaks out of an initial tackle and then drug down at the 9-yard line. Tate Warren, he's a tough guy, downhill runner. When he gets ahead of steam, he's hard to bring down.
Well, one of the nice things out of the Wildcat situation, when you're just direct snapping it and letting the guy run, you get an extra blocker out there. And so it's kind of the old single wing principle, running the Wildcat. And Tate Warren, like you said, he's the guy that'll put the head down and run straight ahead.
From the 14, a gain of 7 will be second down and 3 here. Wamego will go right to left in this second quarter. Empty backfield set. It is, again, the
students are absolutely able to come in as well, and we have many that do. Mrs. Starkweather, our elementary specialist, for example, does reading and math interventions with her elementary students. Sometimes that's virtually. She does it via Zoom. But oftentimes they come into the building and do those with her in person. The same with Mrs. Terrell, our special education specialist, Mrs. Plank, our high school specialist, Ms. Stegman, our middle school specialist, and Ms. Schrader, our math specialist. Sometimes they're working with kids via Zoom, but sometimes kids are coming in here and getting help in person.
Oh, fantastic. And I guess you talked a little bit about being able to expand the programs. A lot of that is because of this fantastic new facility that opened at the beginning of the school year in Hutch, and that's really given you guys your own space, and it's a fantastic environment now that you have.
Right. So we had been housed in the administrative offices in Buhler. We took over about half of that building over the last 3 years.
And thank you so much for all you're doing for our kiddos and for your staff. I know that it's been very successful so far, and we can't wait to see what the future holds.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting me share about it.
Yes, that is Erica Shook, who's the director of our 313 at Astra Academies here at halftime. And we'll be back with more right after this.
More of the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report is coming up after this. Find exclusive stories highlighting Crusader athletics at adastraradio.com. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
Are you needing some help upgrading your home? I'm Jared, inviting you to check us out at Krupp Lumber in Heston, your one-stop destination for all your construction and woodworking needs. We offer a wide selection of top-quality windows and doors like Marvin and Anderson. We also offer kitchen and bath options like R.D. Henry cabinets and Onyx showers to make your home stand the test of time. Ask about our in-state delivery and direct shipment options. Check us out at krupplumber.com. Krupp Lumber, service is our specialty.
Are you considering putting up a fence, building a garage, adding onto your home, or purchasing ground? For all your surveying needs, contact Alpha Land Surveys in Hutchinson at 620-728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
This is Derek Fees with APAC Kansas Shears Division. You know we do big projects, but we also want you to know we can help you with parking lots, driveways, and other projects at your home or business. Asphalt or concrete, we're here to help. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here at halftime, our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. 14-0 at the half, Christopher, and two huge Wamego turnovers. Our defense has taken care of business. Wamego is 4 of 4 on fourth down scenarios back in week 5. On those fourth down situations tonight, they've turned the ball over on downs 3 times, which essentially they don't go down to the book as a turnover, but they act that way. So you take those 3 turnovers on downs and the 3 actual turnovers, our defense has gotten it done.
The Black Knights have done such a good job, and I know we were talking earlier here during halftime. Logan Fulton just does not look anywhere near as comfortable as he did back in week 5. The Black Knights have been getting to him, and not just getting to him, but knocking him down. I mean, he has been knocked to the deck multiple times tonight, and you talked about it, Aaron. He showed a lot of escapability, if you will, back in week 5. He has pretty much been pretty statuary back there in the pocket, and Buhler's been able to get the heat on him.
Offensively, we do have the 2 touchdowns, but I heard in Coach Steve Warner's voice he's not yet happy with the way his offense is moving the ball. He'd like to, obviously, his favorite phrase is long, sustained drives. He'd like to see those long drives down the field and turn a bunch of time off this clock.
Yeah, and that's going to be really critical here in the second half. Buhler's going to get the ball to open the third quarter. So if Buhler could put together a long scoring drive and really, knock this game time down significantly, that's going to be a big path to victory. And you think about it too, the elusive 3-score lead that Coach Warner always talks about. If we can score on this first possession, we will get that 3-score lead right out the gate.
Well, we alluded to the fact that we may see a play or 2 for Landon Martinez in the game. That jet sweep, Coach picked the right time. Wamego not expecting the freshman to get the football. And, man, when he gets loose in space, he is impossible to bring down.
Well, and he did a good job of breaking out of tackles, too, which you don't expect a freshman to be that physical, but he had a nice physical run.
So 14-0 at the half, nearing second half action here tonight from Wamego. Winner gets the winner of Wellington and Andover Central coming up next Friday night in the semifinals. Andrew Epp, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic, man. So far, so good tonight. Talk to us about numbers, things from the